We're here to do a late night edition. We are getting the cards ready. Bear with me. I just had a message pop up from Facebook. Was not expecting that. I decided I was going to do a late night session because I have been hella busy. And also, it's been a while. Let's just be frank. So I have a lot of content to do tomorrow. I've been getting a gate ready because I do have a puppy, and I have been getting a lot of psychic downloads. So let's see what's coming through for the joint connection. Tell me where you're popping in from, wherever you are around the world. I'm going to have a look at what is going on between now and the end of the month into next month. And I was going to check the astrology as well to really check in with the transits because they have been pretty hectic on the energy. And a lot of people have been particularly feeling very unmotivated. Some people have felt a bit down, which I will say is quite common for the astrology. Let's have a quick look. Where's we at? I don't know where this year's gone, honestly. It's really shocking. It's like, I can't believe we've managed to get this far, and it potentially hasn't been that enjoyable. The one thing I really wanted to look at, okay, we're days away from Mercury retrograde. Days away. Not looking forward to that one at all. And we may need to wait until mid-month. We need to check our wellness as well. It can be a time where we can get quite run down and need to really look after our wellness. The 29th, I would say really from 19, 20. Yeah, probably starting this week. It can get a little bit intense, and that is because Uranus and Taurus is going to go retrograde. So let's pull the crowning energy for the joint connection. Let's see. Okay. And we will pull a card for Divine Masculine. That was quick. Well, and one for Divine Feminine. Two for the Divine Feminine. Okay. It's making sense. It's making sense already. Divine Feminine is going through changes. Obviously, those of you that watch astrology, it's matching in the cards at this point. We're going through a rebirth. So that rebirth can make us feel almost very disconnected, very confused. Do I stay? Do I go? We have the soulmate card in reverse. But also that seeking that identity and trying to move forward. It sort of feels you're in this rebirth, so this old vibration of feeling the way you view relationships. It's all really shifting, but it's also the relationship with yourself. Divine Masculine, on the other hand, is realizing inside their spiritual compass that they need to be very, very honest with themselves. And really with the September energies, I was seeing that coming through. And I do feel particularly they're almost getting to this space that they're wanting to, or having to rather, be very honest with themselves about who they love, how they love, and really how they're showing up. But it's that honesty. It's away from the veil. Divine Feminine's trying to simplify. I feel, we even had it on the radio, which I thought was, I can't say it's amusing. It's sad, but it's collective energy. Venus being in Leo, or the newsreader on the radio was mentioning the fact that people are single and how it's making them feel. And it came up in a subject matter on the radio. And again, we are in a Venus retrograde. So the subject of love and the inner child and wanting to reconnect to those things are really coming up in the subject matter. And divine feminine is really looking at it going, A or B. Am I more balanced without a connection? Maybe. Would a connection enhance the situation? Yes, when the person is meshing and moving with you. So I feel at the moment, divine feminine isn't wanting to make any rash decisions. With fluctuating energies, you may go one side or the other. But again, I feel you're coming back down to this. I don't really know what to think about this circumstance. I think I just need to sit with it because it's in its ebbs and flows at this point. So there can be some negativity that you directly are spiritually feeling in the context and the connection of the twin flame path. Okay, let's pull some for divine masculine. Yeah, that's good. We will pull clarifiers. I love you, divine feminine. You look so peeved in this read. Anywho, we'll get into it. Okay, crowning energy. Rules that are not fair. Okay, something is going to go into balance. Something is coming into balance with both. However, during this, we may feel we have these revelations. We may feel that we're moving into a time of wanting to make very solid decisions. Mercury puts a spanner in the works. The card that's come up is in reverse. And it is to do, we've got to be really careful with our thoughts, our communication, especially in the spiritual community. I think the one thing that we do here is a commonality everywhere across the board. But at times when our vibration's down, it's a little bit like Abraham Hicks coming to visit us, but it needs to be that little bird on our shoulder, really speaking the voice of reason and saying to us, what energy are we putting out there? Because it directly does have like a cause and effect situation on it, especially when we're in a twin flame path. So what they're saying is try to get in balance, and it's really hard during crappy transits, right? So at the moment, it's better to, if you don't have a solution to a situation that is playing out in your life at this point, is to just ride that wave. And that I'm hearing the term 3 weeks. Ride the wave, journal, detach, and allow the transformation, allow it to, really go into that cocoon, but then come out like a butterfly. Okay. So things are going to move into balance and harmony. Even if you feel, hey, at this point in time, I have not seen it, allow the rebirth to occur, because they're saying that it is going to come into balance and fairness is going to be resurrected. In the joint connection, both of you are quite reminiscent of the past. Yes, we can have both the negative and the positive, but I do feel you're both thinking back at this point to unity. What would that look like? Is it even possible? How we directly felt about it at a point in the journey. And 90% of us had that dream state, that Neptunian energy. It's like, this could be absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I met this person. Yeah, and then we get into the ascension process. Okay. So it's not that that energy doesn't exist. It's that we've become very realistic. Mars in Virgo is impacting the masculines, but it's also impacting feminines, where they're directly looking at it going, you need to show me the money. You need to show me the detail. It's very critical. It's very detail orientated. So we could literally nitpick, dissect any action, thought, or word that is said. They also can be doing this to themselves and feeling almost scrutinized, but definitely scrutinizing themselves. Okay, the heart chakra is clearing, and I do feel in the joint connection. Again, it is coming down to a very healthy way of wanting to relate. to one another. If there had been headbangings, especially for those of you in communication, we have victim consciousness in reverse and divine feminine. I honestly, I just keep hearing this. It's like you don't want any excuses. So spiritually, you're more attracted to somebody who's showing up equally. This is something that you're really, really wanting. But I also feel divine masculine is wanting this as well. And that generally occurs because we have had karmic individuals in our life. And so we become unattracted to it naturally. I do feel there was a circumstance. It's almost like something switched around June, July. I'm saying whenever I see this card, I get the July card, but I also get Christmas. Both of you have a time frame, okay? And this time frame, it did activate, I would say June, July. That's what they're saying. From that point, there is an element of impatience. I definitely do feel, again, they are looking at a timestamp and they're making reference to they don't want to be repeating patterns. They don't want to be doing the same thing by the end of this year. So they actually want that physically to shift. They do know that you want, they do know that you want to be with them. They're also wanting to be with you. And they're wanting to have things in their life that are working with them. There has been a chain. I always hear this. A chain of very unfortunate events. Both masculine and feminine maybe aren't even wanting to manifest at this point, aren't even realizing. And that's why I said my guides popped in today and they're like really adamant. Being cautious of our words, being cautious of what we're attracting, because obviously when we are feeling down, we don't, and it's not to say it's wrong to feel down. It's not to say that having a bad day is a humanistic experience. It's not feasible to be in high vibe 24/7. And it's not going to prevent your union. So never be hard on yourself because you're having a bad day. Power of attraction. When we are tired, we are not attracting vibration correctly. It's almost like you stub your toe and you're going, God, here we go, we're going to have a bad day. And then it repeats. Spiritually, they're showing the laws of attraction. It's almost like divine masculine and feminine in the 3D. Feminine is very fatigued. Feminine is really looking at all the things they need to address, but also I do feel this is also to do with divine masculine. There is this attraction here, but you don't want it forced. I feel both of you have come to realize that you just want it to flow like a river. Yeah, you don't want something that doesn't want you. I do feel there's a stubbornness that's oozing through in this read, and it feels as though both masculine and feminine, there could be a bit of a standoff at this point in time. Those of you that are communicating, I would be very careful because they're making reference to a text message not going through. I also feel they're making reference to the fact that there can be some forgetfulness and dramas with schedules. I do feel some divine masculine may have some time away from work. I don't feel it's permanent. It could be a holiday. It might be needing to take a break. It also could be because they run down. Okay, there is a big vision here for the both of you. And, you know, your guides are coming in. They're coming in to help the both of you, especially if you're saying to universe, look, honestly, give me a different song. Give me a different movement with this circumstance. Some of you are seeing bees, especially if you're seeing symbolisms of hearts and love. And you're going, oh gosh, I know, you know, with the name synchronicities, etc. What they're making reference to is, you know, going into the heart space and actually saying, yes, I'm aware. Thank you for that acknowledgement. Thank you for that. It's reminding you to be present. It's reminding you to be in that vibration because your clover's coming. Still unwell. But you're not believing it. You can attract this. This is coming towards you. Both of you aren't realizing how powerful you actually are in the context of this. What is this? What's going on here? That doesn't make any sense. Whoa. Okay. We have in the joint connection key, alchemy, and world. And they're all in reverse. And I'm like, that's really not matching. What is this to do with? In the joint connection, they're making reference to the fact that masculine is addressing those things. Feminine could be coming through, really looking at it, going, look, I've tried everything. I don't know what to do. I feel in the context, divine feminine still does have power, but not in the context that they actually believe. But they're also making reference to the fact these things that you feel are a bit of a conundrum, they're actually addressing it themselves. So that's something you don't need to worry about. But they are saying there is going to be a change of events. You do have power. Don't underestimate yourself. Yes, directly, I am very attracted to you, and you do have the key to my heart. Okay, we have the lovers for masculine. This even came out in the September read. Okay, crowning energy. Lovers, there are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. I feel this can be a few things. Number one, it can be, and this was coming through all week, where it comes to karmics and true love, they're seeing the difference. They're really seeing the difference in the circumstances. Now, could this be a choice between two people? For some, it can be, but I'm really not getting that. I do really strongly believe if there was a reconnection with anyone, it's more to do with the past tense energy and purging an old karmic cycle. Those within a karmic relationship, they're really, really obsessively thinking about you. Those that are completely single, it feels as though there are people that are pursuing them, but this is haunting them. You're haunting them. So it's almost something that is a no-brainer to them. Yeah, they've learned, once you have too many karmics, it's like, no, thank you. No more. And then all must have a price. Trying to please everyone. Yeah, see the four. It's like, where it comes to family and home and obligations and what people think, where they need to be. It could be friendship groups living close by to them. They're tired of it. They just want to do their own thing. They want to live their own life. They want to be who they really are. Be the hunted, not the hunter. Yeah, they might have had a stalker here. This could have been somebody who was very obsessive. And I do feel for a lot of you, if there has been this chase mode going on, really pull back because it's going to bring the connection back into balance. They've also noticed that, your attitude and your energy has very much shifted. You're very different to how you used to be, and it's really attracting them. Yeah, something's changing in them. They're actually wanting to be more assertive. They also feel that they're not having the jealousy because they do trust you. How do I explain this? Okay, if there is ever any jealousy or insecurity coming up, it's not that they don't feel it, it's that they have faith in you. So especially if they've acted very nonchalant, like it doesn't matter and they're really cool, they're making reference to the fact they do have faith in you. They're wanting to take a shoe out of your book. They're realizing that they have put their own life on the back burner for other people. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a family-related dynamic popping off. I feel it's towards now and next month. Yeah, really missing you. The 8. No longer wanting to make sacrifices. not for the wrong things. There's a transformation here. They tried to make something change, but it didn't. On this occasion, they're wanting to do it for the right reasons. They want it to be more long-standing, sustainable. Any lack mentality they physically had, this could mean I can't leave because I'm going to be broke, or I'll need to move house. How will that be? They do feel the universe is going to have their back. And they also feel, like I mentioned before, if they're with somebody that is working with them as a team, you know, not a karmic, they're going to have a better outcome. Yeah. They did want everything to be perfect prior, but they're realizing that can't be so. Now, what do I mean by that? $1 million in the bank, everything's sorted, everyone happy, singing Kumbaya, buy karmic, out of here. It just doesn't happen. It's the real world. Do you know what I mean? So they're kind of saying to themselves, be really realistic in the context. There could be paperwork to address, there could be finances to address, but regardless, they know how they feel and they're really following their heart. Feminine doesn't want any more mountains, no more dramas, no more climbing. Feminine could, for some, have got to a place where you're at a standstill. You're wanting to have the straight and narrow, have the simple for a bit, getting down to basics. You could feel that there's a lot of challenges ahead and you don't quite know how to address them, and you just feel quite upside down. Okay, some of you could feel that. I'm getting a few messages here. This can be, especially if you're feeling run down, sick, off. It's almost like a psychic attack, but it also can feel almost like this can be psychologically as well. You can be feeling, gosh, am I cursed? Why do things keep going wrong? Probably a good time to actually clear the home. When's the next moon phase? They're making reference to the moon. We have 31st. Gee, the end of the month, really? At 7 degrees. It's going to be in Pisces. So it's going to be a full moon in Pisces. 100%. No wonder I was thinking, gosh, okay, psychic attacks. This is a time, and I would say a week up to easy. I would definitely sage your homes. I would use your crystals. I would have your fluids on hand. Try to avoid any pacifiers. Because what can happen is when your auras run down, you're going to get the psychic attacks. If there is a tower moment on either side of the fence, because you're joint energy, you're going to feel each other's ascension process. You could also have panic attacks. It is a good moon for new beginnings. Full moons move into new beginnings. It's also Pisces. It's very spiritual in nature. But again, with every zodiac sign, there's yin to the yang. And I have noticed, especially with my coaching over the years, that you do tend to have the element of psychic attacks. There is a possibility. So using your crystals, doing cord cutting, I would do that prior to the moon. But definitely drinking fluids. Yeah, you're not wanting to jump in, and I would say definitely don't make any rash decisions. And I also feel at the moment really being very conscious about what you're putting in your body. This is not drinking the poison. This is being very careful, especially because Venus is retrograde. Are you going to be irritable at a foundation level? Yes. You may have a lot to say. You're being guided to be very careful what you say and how you react to the circumstance. It is showing in the joint connection there is luck here. Okay. It is showing that the outcome card is being addressed on masculine side. They're going through their transformations and changes. Divine feminine is really putting her hands up at the moment and saying, look, I don't want to hear your shit. I love you lots. I'll see you soon. We will be back tomorrow for the super chats. If you're watching this at another time, it's not going to be a problem because it links all the way through to next month and energy is fluid. Otherwise, come and see the channel and see when the next super chat is. Otherwise, you can get this content in the members hub ahead of the crowd for the masculine, feminine, and karmic. Now, The members also will be getting that tomorrow for theirs ahead. They're 2 weeks ahead. So the super chats, we've also got those on Sundays. Click the bell for that notification. The membership does cover all of these. So we have the pre-release content, we've got the chat rooms, we've got the element reads, which are coming up shortly for masculine. We have the video talk to text and coaching in there, as well as so much more. I cannot give you legal advice. I can't give you professional, financial, psychological, or other. And I have to say that as a disclaimer. Love you lots. See you for the masculine, feminine, and the karmic.